Hello. When working with data and numbers, sometimes we need to use special techniques and features to present the data in more vivid format and easy to digest. Using conditional formatting gives us the rich capabilities to apply different background colors and other features to emphasize certain data. In this video, I will show you how you can easily apply features like data bars, color scales, and icon sets to make your data eye-catching, help to spot trends and patterns. Let's jump to the first example. In this first table, we have total number of COVID-19 cases in Ontario by age. We have 5 age groups. We have total confirmed cases by each group, percentage of total, number of deaths, and mortality rate. Let's see how using conditional formatting can help us spot the trends and analyze the data easily and faster. Where can you find conditional formatting? It lives on the Home tab and in the group styles. And here at the very beginning, you can click the drop down and you have different options. You have highlighting cells with greater than, less than, between, equal to something, text that contains, date occurring between probably two different dates or whatever it is, the date you're looking. Duplicate values, we have top 10% items percentage, bottom, above average, below average. We have data bars, color scales, icon sets, and a lot more different rules. You can clear the rules from the sheet and manage the rules. I'll show you later how we can do that. So let's first start with selecting our data that we want to use conditional formatting. You have to select the range or the column before applying conditional formatting. So let's start with selecting the percentage and going to the drop down. Going down to data bars, we have two options, the gradient view with 6 preset colors and solid view. I would always suggest using solid view because the bars are clearly defined and you can see which one is longer than the other. So let's pick this blue color. And you can clearly see now that the age group from 20 to 60 has almost 60% of all COVID-19 cases. We have 90% over 60 to 80 and only 70% above 80. Let's do the same for mortality rate and apply data bar conditional formatting. This time we can use another color. Let's use the red one. And what we spot now is, despite the 60% for these two age groups, they have only 1% of total mortality rate. And despite it's only 17% of all cases above 80, we have almost above 31% mortality rate. And that's easily detectable that this age group is the more vulnerable group of all. Let's try using color scales for the other two columns. You don't have necessary to use so much conditional formatting, but let's see how it looks when we use color scales. What we can use here is we can use 3 different colors, and depending on which one is the highest, select the color. We can use 2 colors, and the highest, for example, is the strongest feel, and the gradient goes from white to dark red. Let's choose this one, and again you can see this is the highest one, next one, and so on to the smallest. So in some cases this could be very useful for you instead of bars using the scales. Let's try using the same color scales. This time we can use the green. So the darker the green, the higher the number. And again, this is the same representation over here, but with color scales. So I wouldn't suggest using both on one table because it gets too much. But if you want to choose one or the other, that will be a great solution. Next table, we have the daily new COVID cases in Ontario, starting from March 1st all the way to June 15. Let's see how we can spot the trends and see if the cases have started declining or still increasing in numbers. So let's select first number of new cases column and apply again data bars. This time let's choose gradient, that's okay. And easily you can see how at the beginning there were not too many cases and the bars are almost invisible, and then it starts showing higher and higher. You see how the bars go over the numbers. Let's see if we can do something about that and put the numbers a bit on the right. So let's select the whole column and go to manage rules. We have only one rule with this selection, but we can, if we select this worksheet, we will see all the rest of the rules that we already applied on the other table. But in this selection, or this table, we have only one. So we choose edit rules and we go to this new window and update our selections to, for example, have a maximum number that is equal to 800, for example, which is a lot bigger than we had on a daily basis. And what happened is when we apply, you can see how all of the labels are moved to the right and it's more clearly seen the numbers. There is another also option. If we don't want to see the numbers and we just want to show visually with color, we can remove the, let's go to the manage rule, again, edit. We can show only the bars, so remove the labels. In this case, clicking it will delete the numbers. The numbers are still there, but you're not going to see them in the column. So maybe that's better for you if you don't want to see each of the numbers. Let's see how we can use icon sets. In column K, we have the change day over day. So it shows us, let's bring back the numbers. By selecting it. Okay, so it shows us how the numbers are moving, if they're decreasing or increasing day over day. So how do we want to represent this? Using icons. I would think that it's going to be a lot better if we have these arrows showing up and down. What happened is that there is a preset rule for these bars that shows us the top 33%, the medium 33%, and the bottom 33% of all values. We don't want that exactly, so we have to change the rule that is preset from Excel. We will go to manage rules, select the icons, and edit the rules. So you can see here the top one above 67%, the medium will be up to 33, and below 33 is the red arrow. We'll change this to number and we'll say we want anything that is above one number, then change the medium to 0 and the red will be below 0. Applying this new rule will show us correctly every time it goes down from the previous day. It shows us the red arrow and the green arrow when it goes up or increases, And you can see here, it's been on March 9th and March 10th. The numbers have been the same, so we have zero movement and it's the same level. If we want, again, we can change the rule to show only the icons. So select the rule and remove the numbers. Applying it, it moved it to the right, but we can align in the center if you want to look nicer and represent it better. In this next example, we have a list of new products that need to be published to our e-commerce website. We have product name, inventory status, units in stock, unit price, total dollar in stock, date in stock, so since when they've been in stock, and days since in stock. We need to figure out or use conditional formatting to prioritize which product need to be published first before the rest. So let's start using conditional formatting. In the first task, we will have to select the inventory status and highlight whatever is in stock in red, whatever is in transit in yellow, and not in stock in green. So it means whatever is in red is more important than the yellow and green. Selecting the whole column, you can select it from the top as well, because we have a table. So once you go here, hover over, and you see the arrow, you can select the whole column. And going back to our conditional formatting drop down, we go to the very first one, options, and all the way to text contains. So right now it suggests inventory status. We don't want inventory status, we want not in stock. And it should be green, right? Let's use some of the presets. We have light red, yellow, and green. We're good with the first one. Selecting the second, we're on the same range, so we don't have to change the selection. Text contain, in transit, and then we'll choose yellow for in transit. Okay, and the third one, same place. This time we'll select in stock, and that will be in red. Yes. What happened? We have a problem right now because not in stock is no longer highlighted in green. Let's figure out how to fix this. So going to conditional formatting, and at the very bottom we have manage rules. Selecting manage rules, we can see all the 3 rules we applied. So we have to move around the different rules. So the green one is performed before the red one. So selecting the green, the one that is not in stock, we can move with this arrow up or down in case it's up. And in this case, when we move it in front of the red, it will be applied first this rule, and then the next one will be the red rule. Applying, okay, and now we have our not in stock highlighted in green correctly. Next thing on our task is to create greater than 0 highlight. So we want to see any units in stock highlighted in color. Going back to conditional formatting, this will be again in the first options, and greater than is on the very top option. We can use red or we can use green, but we have to indicate that we want 0 to be our level of bigger than 0, right? And we'll select green fill. Okay. Now unit price, it should be with data bars. We just need to know whether certain price is bigger than the other, and it should be clearly indicated with bars. Let's select the green again, so we don't have too many different colors. And clearly we can see this mermaid gown is the most expensive one. And then over here there's another embellished gown that is also very expensive. Let's jump to total in stock column, and we need to use color scale for this one, from green to white. Selecting the drop down and going to color scale, we have different options with 3 colors in like green, yellow, red, blue, white, and red, and so on. But we do want to use just green to white, so the bigger one should be darker and going to white. So I will select this, and now we can see the top one. The most expensive is because we do have a lot more units in stock than the gown. It is this one is the most expensive in our stock right now. It should be prioritized. Next one, in column G we have the dates in stock. So we have to highlight the dates from the last 5 days in green, from 5 to 10 days in stock in yellow, and from 10 to 15 days in stock in red. So anything that is closer to 15 days, it should be immediately prioritized and published on the site. We have a limit of 15 days that we need to publish the products on the site. So going to column G, we'll select and use a new rule. This new rule will be a formula. So we can use formula from over here, and we'll start typing our formula in this line. So it will be today formula minus G4. It will be always the first cell of your column or range that you have to use, and then bigger than 10 days. This one needs to be red. We need to prioritize anything that's bigger than 10 days. Okay, keep on adding the rest of the days. Again, use today's formula. Minus G4 is smaller and equal to 10. And this one will be in yellow. Next one, another formula with today's date. Today minus G4 is smaller than 5. This needs to be green. Okay. We can actually add equal or smaller. We didn't like it because our equal should be in after. Okay. And the last thing is we want to remove this red from the blank. So we'll add another rule that will be G4 equals to blank or 0, format to white. Okay, looking good. The last column is days in stock, and we will use for this one a color scale from red, darker red to whiter to prioritize the highest, the darker days. So now that we implemented our conditional formatting, we can use sorting to see how it looks and which one needs to be prioritized. So let's go from column C and sort A to Z. So anything that is in stock will come at the beginning. We want to prioritize anything that has higher total dollar values. So we'll say largest to smallest over here. And then we'll go to days in stock and prioritize anything that is largest to smallest. So looking good. This should be our priority list. We will have to start anything that has above 10 days. So over here, and then that's the next portion. This is the last 5 that are in stock, still have to be prioritized, and anything after that can be prioritized as well if we have the time to work on them. With our last example, we will see how easy it is to detect which values are duplicated or unique. So we have column B, product ID, that could be duplicated, and column C, SKUs, which should be unique values. And for example, over here, we have one product with multiple SKUs. These SKUs could be different colors. For example, you have a chair that comes in black, white, red, blue, and brown colors, and these are the skins for this particular color. So let's select our column B, where we expect that we have duplicated values, and go to conditional formatting, selecting the very top options, and then going down to the list. At the bottom we have duplicated values shortcut. You can choose it from more rules as well, or from new rules, but this is the fastest and easiest way. So selecting duplicated values, Excel is already giving us a red fill. If you want to change the fill, we can go on update to custom format and select, for example, blue. Okay, and these are the duplicated values, easy to detect. But if you don't have only one, now we have multiple product IDs that are duplicated. If you want to get it to the next level and get only unique values, we can copy the column to a different place, and now we make sure that this is a number, and go to the data tab, select remove duplicates from this particular column only, and when we perform it, Excel says there were 21 duplicated values found and removed, and 22 unique values remain. So now you can use this list or this range of product IDs and use it in a different system where you don't need to have a duplicated values of product ID. So now let's see how we can spot unique values. In some cases you will have to find them, not so often as duplicated, but that's a very valuable option. Let's select both column B and C and go back to Home tab and Conditional Formatting. Where can we do that? We can do it from different places. We can go to New Rule, we can go to More Rules, or select Duplicated Values again. So let's go to Duplicated Values, and now from the drop down we can select Unique. So clicking Unique, we're going to see only the unique values highlighted, and we can change, of course, the format and the filling, but we'll go with the red one right now. And that's it. Very easy to detect unique values. The very last thing I want to show you is how can we clean particular conditional formatting from a sheet or a table. So we have several options. If you click in the table and then go back to conditional formatting, we have clear rules options, and clear rules options provides us with 3 different options from selected cell. So it means it will remove it only from C8. From entire sheet, it will remove all of the conditional formattings that were performed on this sheet or from this table in case we have multiple tables. So we can clean only this table, but the rest will remain. Also, you can go to manage rules and select each of them or whichever you don't like and delete it from there. So there are several ways to clean the rules. You can select both of them, but selecting one by one from here, let's go back and use the clear entire sheet. It's the easiest way. And now you don't have any conditional formatting applied to this spreadsheet. Hope you find this useful and implement it from now on. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.